G'day, Shane here. It's the 26th of February 2025, and that makes it the start of week 96 of my piano journey. And hopefully we've got the recording kit all working today, so we can get a good copy of the lesson. Had a bit of a technical issue last week, but I'm pretty sure we've got that resolved. I've done some testing. So looking back over the past week in terms of piano practice, etc., I've done 4 sessions for a total of 2 hours. The first session, as I usually do after I learn a new piece, I got a new piece at the last lesson, which unfortunately didn't get recorded. But the new piece was called the Jumping Bean, and I devoted my first practice session after that lesson to basically the Jumping Bean in its entirety. And I'm quite pleased with how it's coming along. It's going to be a good piece, so quite excited about that. And I also kept Song of the Pine Tree in the rotation, just not giving it the sort of the 6 or the 7 or 9 minute sort of slot, but just giving it a sort of a minute or two, just to have a one-off playthrough every practice to try and keep it under my fingers. I'm hoping to get a good performance version of that because the other thing I tried to record but failed last week was a practice session, sorry, a recording of it, so that I had a performance. So anyway, still trying to get that. So apart from that, that's pretty much the week where it's at. We're coming up for a lesson in a few minutes. So before that, I'll have another go at Song of the Pine Tree and see if I can get something good out of that. Following this, I'll have the updated list of resources, which I'm currently using. G'day, Shane here. One of the questions that I get asked occasionally is what are the books and other resources, etc., that I'm using. So I've started creating these little sort of video updates that I tag on to the end of my weekly update. And given I've just been given a new piece, it's time to update that again. So the new piece is called The Jumping Bean, and it is from this book here called Really Easy Jazzing About. It's by Wedgwood. And obviously I'll put the details around the book, etc., in the description below. The other 2 pieces I've got on the go are both from this book here called Piano Time Classics by Pauline, and the 2 pieces are Caprice and the theme from the Unfinished Symphony. So those are 2 pieces from this book. Another resource which I use on an ongoing basis for my practicing is this book here, which is the Grade 2 Piano Specimen Sight Reading Tests. And these have basically just basically 4 bars, and the idea is you pick one at random during a practice, and you just basically have a couple of goes at trying to do it, and then put it aside. It's to practice your sight reading. And in an exam situation, you'd be given about 30 seconds to look at it. You'd then be expected to play it and get it right and get marked accordingly. So that's what this book is for. The other resources that I use are these scale charts, and these are available from Jane's Accelerando Piano website, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And these particular ones, I've got them for this one's the minor keys, and I've got one for the major keys as well. There you go. I like these ones because they have the departures from the norm highlighted. So that's what the yellow is, and here it's what the blue is and the yellow is as well. So they're basically telling me when I'm looking at it that, hey, hang on a minute, your fingers are not just going to go to the next white key, it's got to go up or down. So I find this quite useful. Jane's website also has versions of these that don't have the highlighting on them. So if you want to make life a bit more harder for yourself, you can try those ones if you wish. So that's about it for the physical resources, and stay tuned for details on the most key resource. The other key resource that I have is obviously Jane, a teacher, and I can't tell you just how useful having a teacher actually is. I don't know how I'd be going if I was trying to learn on my own, because I wouldn't know what pieces to pick, etc. I wouldn't know what grade I'm at any particular point in time. You have to sort of try and evaluate that. And obviously it's a matter of whether you can afford a teacher or not, but if you can, I'd certainly suggest that you try to find a teacher, either locally or online. Jane teaches online. Time zones might be an issue if you are not in New Zealand, but I'll put some details below. She does have quite a waiting list, so if you think you might want to learn from someone like Jane, you probably want to get on her waiting list sooner rather than later. But one of the things that a teacher really does is they look at how you're progressing, and they try to identify gaps in your knowledge and your skill set for where you should be at that particular point on your journey, and then they try to fill it. So for example, the piece that Jane's going to be giving me today, the Unfinished Symphony, is one that's actually going to really work my left hand. So it swaps the melody from being on the right hand into the left hand, so I can start to get some practice doing that, because I haven't done that before. That's something I would never have thought of to do had I been trying to teach myself. So it's those kinds of sort of insights that a good teacher will help you figure your way through and sort of really help you progress. So can't recommend a teacher enough, and the best one ever, well, I'm biased because I'm married to her, is Jane Trotter. So take a look at her website. You'll see that there's plenty of other people there, that dozens and dozens of people that have left testimonials that also think she's the bee's knees. So you can check that out. Now, the other thing that Jane also has is a YouTube channel and a supporting website called Accelerando Piano. And Accelerando Piano is where she puts up short tutorial type videos. When I say short, they're not 30-second type things. They're 5 to 10 minute type tutorials, and these are primarily aimed to support her students. Although she's made them public, so everyone in the world can have a look at them and use them. And what she does is, if you go onto a waiting list, if you're on a waiting list, she'll be sending a link out to people that says, here are some of the videos you should probably start to look at, that sort of, if you want to learn on your own a little bit while you're waiting on a spot, try these ones here, etc. And there's some key ones there on how to set up your environment so that you don't get yourself injured, and certainly worth taking a look at those. And if you are, if you have a teacher, then you may well be able to find some supplementary resources on Jane's website that supplement what you're already learning from your own teacher. And if you currently don't have a teacher, then you might be able to find some things there that sort of also help you on your way. It's not lessons as such. It's not going to teach you how to play a piece, but it will teach you things like how to play scales, how to sit properly, things that you possibly haven't really sort of thought about. I think the last one she's done, and I'm not sure what's up yet, is how to make sure you're relaxing when you're playing chords. I think it's called "Don't Death Grip Your Chords" or something like that. So there's sort of a variety of things like that. Definitely worth a look. And on the each one of those, well, not each one, but most of those tutorials also have a supplementary resource, and that's where these come in. So the scales tutorials that teach you how to play these scales and tell you the tricks about what fingers to move where, etc. Also have sheets available for download, and they're on her website under the resources page, and you can access those there. And that's what I've done here. I've just printed those out, laminated them so that I can flip them over and they don't sort of get crumpled, etc. So that's the other resources that I use. Can't highly recommend a teacher enough. So there you go. And I'll update this resources section as the books, etc. change.